Hey, this is Dan. Welcome back to the channel. Today, it's wintertime in Colorado. We just got some snow the other week, so we're going to be tackling a few things in the garage. And we're going to start with handlebars. So the factory 1250 GSA that I purchased came with the elevated handlebar risers. So while that's nice, one of the things that it does do is it moves the risers up, but it also moves it back, which means that the compartment between the seat and the handlebars gets narrower. If you've been paying attention to the channel, you know that I am a tall guy. I'm 6'9", so I've got long legs, long arms, and a long torso. And so what we're going to do today is try and change the orientation of the handlebars a little bit using the Rox Speedworks 2-inch rise, but adjustable in rotation. And what that's going to allow us to do is to take this handlebar and actually keep the same 2-inch rise, but move it back to open that compartment up. If this is something you're interested in, please stick around for the video. All right, so I saw these Rox risers kind of explained on Breck Tactics kind of YouTube video where he kind of talks about adventure riding, in particular the 1250 GS that he has, and kind of really explained the difference between having a cockpit that's closer, meaning closer to your body, and a cockpit that's further away. And having the cockpit further away, meaning the handlebars are further toward the fork versus further toward the seat, makes a difference, especially for tall people. And he had a video with a friend that was tall by most people's standards, which is like 6'4" to 6'6". And then I'm, of course, is much bigger than that. So what we need today is we have the Rox risers, and it's a pretty simple setup. Basically, we're going to replace the factory GSA risers with the Rox riser. And what it's going to allow us to do is take this riser and pivot it so it's basically vertical, which is going to move the handlebars up 2 inches, but not bring them closer to me. So we need a T45 Torx bit to get the factory bolts out. And then we're going to need a 6 Allen to put the new bolts in. And because I have longer bolts from the factory, I had to get some shorter 30mm M8 bolts to put that together. So we'll go ahead and take this apart. One good thing that he kind of indicated is make sure you scribe the inside and then mark the center. And I did that with a Sharpie on both sides so that we can reorient the bar to where I have it set. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take the T45 and loosen all of our handlebar connections. And by loosening the top ones, we should take everything else out of compression. And so these should be pretty easy to turn. All right, so we're gonna take these stock risers out. I probably should have turned the handlebars. We're going to retain the use of the stock clamps. So the next step is to take these Rox risers, kind of put them in place, and then you take their cap and you stick it on the bottom. I'm just going to put one. All right, so that was kind of a tricky thing. I didn't get the bike. Should have put the bike on the center stand and then gotten the forks kind of aligned appropriately. But you can see how the riser is going to allow us to tilt this backwards and forwards to get the alignment the way that we want. It also gives us access to the front bolt so that we can tighten everything down. So we're just going to get everything in here pretty loose. All right, so you can see how we have access to these front bolts, and we can rotate it forward and get access to the bottom bolts. So now we're going to kind of get the wheel turned so that we can take a look at how that actually sets. So here is a great example of how rotating the handlebars changes how close things are. You see as we rotate things up, how much further it comes away from where we need to be. So the first thing we got to do is figure out what orientation we want. And based on what Brett had kind of put together, is you get the front of these kind of snug down, get it so that we are pretty close to vertical on this piece, and then we'll start to torque down these pieces. Now you can see that we're going to have to readjust this orientation because we've rotated things forward, but we'll do that here in a second. All right, so like I said, they wanted us to tighten the front bolts tight enough so that there was enough play on them, enough so that they were tight enough so that you could still rotate the handlebars, but not, and then use these back to torque everything down. So the torque spec from BMW is 19 Newton meters, which is not, 19 Newton meters is not a lot. All right, so now that we have those torqued, we want to get our handlebars so that they're rotated appropriately for how we want them. All right, so the goal is to kind of have, you know, a nice straight wrist at a seated position. And I think if you look here, my wrist is pretty much straight across, so it's going to be nice and comfortable for where my shoulders sit on the seat. So I think this is where we're going to leave it. So we just got to torque these caps down to 19 Newton meters, and we'll be done. I don't know if you can see that. So now we're straight up and down, and everything is kind of sitting as it should. We got the handlebars oriented the way that we want them. And the last thing to do is to go for a test drive and see how they go. So installation is pretty simple. It's just those 4 cap bolts on the original stem, and then the 4 for the top of the Rox risers when you get them set. So super easy install. If you need to increase the amount of space between the seat and the handlebars, these Rox risers are a good option. It's also going to give me a little bit more space while I'm standing on the foot pegs to feel not as cramped as I have been. So hope you guys got something from the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.